assholes. You are now fucking listening to the Two Clouded Mind Show with Chris.
What would it take for Ryan to suck a dick?
And Ryan.
Oh God, you just coughed all over me.
With special guest appearances, unique games, and contests. Give us a goddamn call. 669-241-2420. Or stalk us like your girlfriends do. On Facebook and Instagram at the Two Clouded Mind Show. Let's get fucking clouded. It's the Two Clouded Mind Show.
Welcome to the Two Clouded Mind Show.
Hi. They know where they are. They came back. You
Maybe they're new.
dirty little perverts. I'll show you my nipples on Patreon.
I think I already did.
Yeah, you did.
Beat you to it.
Bruh.
But if you're not following the Patreon, that's kind of like, you know, did men really ever land on the moon? You don't know.
On the next Patreon, watch me sit in gum. Fools everybody every time.
You're talking about your balls?
Obviously.
I don't know, man. I'm like kind of just waiting for the day my balls drop as an old man.
That's a rite of passage.
Like, you're looking forward to that, or?
Yeah. I am.
Oh,
I like a nice toy.
why?
You know, like,
Toy-
you ever lay
toy
down
bag.
and, like, you know, with a significant other and they wrap their finger around in your hair and it's like calming? I just want somebody to wrap their finger around in my ball sack.
You just want to lay them on somebody's face like a Roman soldier helmet.
It would make them really look like Harvey Dent.
So, like, it could be like balls across the eyes and
can't.
just a hard on, like a unicorn.
That would be a gonzo, right? A reverse gonzo?
Be a unicorn, or I used to call it the Roman soldier.
Oh, the down the face.
Yeah, the nuts go here, and, you know, you have to do it with a full bone.
Yeah.
It has to be a full bone, or it didn't really happen.
So a full bone is the Roman soldier, and then the gonzo is a flaccid.
Yeah, just
Did
hanging,
droopy?
just droopy.
Droopy guy.
I've done both, and it's funny. And
It
there are
is.
pictures out there somewhere.
There's
Unfortunately,
pictures.
There's
Yeah.
pictures of this?
Yeah,
That's amazing.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've have some memorial. I can't even speak right
I
now.
don't even. I know for a fact that these people don't watch the show, so yeah, they definitely have photos. Two separate people.
What kind of photos are they? Like Kodak, like prints?
They were digital, so like they could pop up. Like
They were.
if I ever went for like a serious job, and they like really probably did a deep enough dive, they could probably find these photos. Fucked up.
Yeah.
I mean, they were all in fun.
That's why I got to do Polaroid. son.
Everybody was a consenting adult. I promise.
All-
Everybody,
all
all
of-
parties involved.
The majority of my dirty content was like Polaroids or like a video on my phone, like a FaceTime send, you know, like.
Mm-hmm.
It's like POV and like in person at the same time for like the recipient.
Could you put your finger here for a second?
Yeah.
All right, that was a good butt.
I do. Yeah, I do.
You're getting better at it.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
You're quick.
I,
Quicker.
yeah.
Yeah.
We have a friend with us. We
We
have a
do.
new friend,
We do have a new friend.
ladies and gentlemen. Damian Rucci.
Hey, what's up, man? Thanks for having me on here.
Just blasting the button.
I hit the wrong one, but you know,
It was
everyone.
the kids' applause.
Yeah, everyone. Love from everybody. You get love from everybody. Wow.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. We always love meeting new people and talking about things that are different on our show, but it's kind of odd how it's different, yet you have a lot of correlations with some other guests that we've had on the show.
Yeah.
Like
He may be huge, but
Tons of them.
so Scarlet Reserve Room.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
work
yeah.
there as well, or
I host a show there, Puff Puff Poems.
Puff Puff
It's a
Poems?
poetry comedy show I've been running there for about a year.
That
Tell us a
sounds
little bit
fun.
about that, because I like both of those things.
So,
Spoiler alert.
Can you hold
He's
your
a
mic
poet.
up a little bit
Yeah.
more?
me?
Yes,
Oh,
thank
perfect.
you.
So, what happened was that I had a show up in New Brunswick called the Chamber Cantos. I was living out in Missouri. I had a arts residency program. It was like some culty shit. I got ran out. Come back to Jersey is the pandemic. I host this show in 2021. Nobody cares about it. Like 4 people. And I'm like handing out flyers on the street like it's 2007. You know?
I love that.
Well, you know, I tried as a college town. It didn't work, and the venue closed. So I'm on the train ride home, and like, I got a text from Nip and Tuck in Long Branch, which is a bar,
Yes.
from Brew in Matawan and Scarlet Reserve Room, all on the same train ride. And
Wow.
They were like, "Would you want to start a show here?" And I was like, "Yes" to all of them. And I was like, "One's gonna work, and then I'll ditch the other 2 that don't." And then like all of them worked, and I'm hosting 10 shows right now. It's a year out, so it's been a wild ride. The Puff Puff Poems one's my favorite because like it's just mad people smoking weed. There's poets, there's comedians. I'll throw a band in there every now and then. Like it just gets wild, you know?
Yeah.
There'll be like 30, 40 fucking joints, blunts lit, passed around. And I'm hosting, so everyone's passing me a joint. So by the end of the show, I could be in cantankerous situations, you know?
We are very familiar with that.
Yeah, it's a great spot though.
Yeah, I get too high sometimes. I mean, not too high for me, too high for.
Too high for me. So Chris and I I tried to take Chris to one of your shows at Scarlet Reserve Room,
Oh my God.
and I don't typically smoke, so I was like, when in Rome, and decided to smoke whatever Chris was smoking, which was not a great idea. We wound up leaving halfway through because I didn't know if I was sitting or standing, and my face was melting off. And then we ate potato chips in my car until I could drive him home.
That sounds real relatable.
It was so fun. It really was. It was a good time. I enjoyed myself.
I thought you were gonna say you had to drive, like you drove Chris home.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then I had to drive myself home after that. But I found out about you because I was at Nip Tuck one night and didn't know that you were hosting those things there, and I'm like, what did I just walk into? Like,
You
I
picked the
saw all
wrong
those
bar on a
people.
Monday.
Yeah, it was a Monday, and I'm like, I just came for a beer, and then I saw we like just kept coming back. It was me and Charlie actually used to go to that, and I was like, oh, this is my college professor, like Chelsea Palermo.
Oh yeah,
Was
yeah.
reading, and then my friend Jess like reads at some of your stuff too. Patron, but I don't know what her married name is now, but you probably know her.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. And then you were like at all these different places that we've had on the show. I'm like, wow, it's like something for everyone, because it's like a smoking room, a bar, a coffee shop. So it's like,
So, but back to when we
Yeah.
went to the one.
yes.
I felt like at that one wasn't what we were supposed to be doing. I felt like we were the only ones. I'm the only idiot that was smoking at the time.
Yeah, no one else was
And
smoking
then you got
around
really
us.
high, and then we left. But I felt like I was like, were we not supposed to? Like, I didn't know what the vibe was. I'm like, oh
Well,
my
it's
God.
a roll of the dice. So the thing, right? So like in like the first 6-7 months of that show, people were still kind of funky with smoking inside, and so like there'd be certain shows we'd have there where like it'd be smoke to the walls, and certain shows with a different audience. No one's drinking or smoking. It's
Yeah.
BYOB. So like it was this real weird thing, and now I think it's kind of rounded out. But like for a hot minute, like there'd be like everyone just sitting there and be like, "Can we smoke? Can we smoke?"
See, I don't ask.
You know?
I just
Yeah.
light up, and if I get in trouble, I'm sorry.
Well, that's how I am with vaping.
But I
You know,
think
I vape anywhere. I'll vape in a hospital. Fuck it.
Yeah.
me too. Now, do you ever find yourself like? Because I think from Chris's experience, I unfortunately I was unable to make it that day. I wanted to go and,
Yeah.
see what it was all about, but it seemed more like on the vibe of recovery.
Some of them is, you know, like the thing is this, like we have people from all different things in. So like
Yeah.
there are people who don't come out to my bar shows, right? They're in the scene, they'll come out to my I've
Coffee
won
shop or
coffee shop. I've won in
something, yeah.
Keyport at the Fun House. I won a brew, and like there's people who are super like sober minded and like all their work's about recovery, and that's dope. That's how they found poetry or whatever. And that's really cool, you know.
Yeah.
That's just not the religion I belong to, you know. So like there's also like the more debaucherous shows,
Yeah.
like Nip and Tuck. The show that I host, I have 2 shows there. I have Poems and Punchlines that I do with Angelo Gingerelli, and then Bards Off Broadway, 1st and 3rd and 2nd and 4th. Those shows can be packed, right? God awful, or debaucherously insane. And dude, I've been doing it for a full year, and I can't judge it. Every other show, if I do the promotion, I do the thing, I'm like, I can expect what it's gonna be. Last night, I posted the flyer the morning of the thing, and it was just insanity. There's no science behind it. So I think there's something for everyone. You know, if you're the person who wants to like get down, do the art thing, have fun, get reckless, there's a spot for you in this thing. If you're not like that, you are more, you know, laid back, you don't want to be around those elements, there's a whole other thing for you to be involved.
Yeah, it's
I
very
think that's what
inclusive.
people were maybe just trying to figure out in the beginning.
Yeah.
Because I think out of respect, Chris maybe felt like, I don't want to speak for you, but you feel out of place smoking.
Yeah.
I think it was just like the few poets that happened to get up, like what they were talking about. We were like, oh, should we be smoking?
Like, out of
right
respect,
now?
you know?
Yeah,
Well,
like
that's
Yeah,
super
I felt like I was being
empathetic, you
I
know?
felt like I was being Satan.
But at the same time, you're at a smoke lounge, you know?
Right,
So, like,
right.
do they know and accept what they're, like, other people get into?
Totally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. The thing is this, though, is that I have always been profoundly open with, you know, like my struggles with addiction in the past, me getting down, having fun, whatever. And what I've noticed is that it was brash. A lot of people were like put off by like some of the shows because there were shows, man, that just got like wild and unexpected. And it was like, oh, it's a poetry reading. I'm like, bro, you know what I mean? Like, you should see the shit that's going on.
Yeah.
But those people who at first maybe were pushed back by that, you know, they found other spots. You know, and there are still people who won't ever come to Puff Puff Poems because they can't, because they have a job in the education field and they don't want to be seen, even though it's legal now, right?
Yeah.
But, like,
I was trying to get actually the guy that taught me audio, I've been talking to him, and I'm hesitant to even ask him to come on the podcast.
Really?
Don't be a
Because
pussy.
I'm sure he...
I know you.
I don't want to say what he does or doesn't do, but I know that he knows that I smoke, and I know that he knows that I have a marijuana podcast. So I don't want to put him in that position. It's because he deals with children,
Okay.
but he
yeah,
also
yeah.
deals with adults.
he's-
When did
I
you
just zoned
first
out.
find poetry?
High as fuck.
Yes.
I've been, you know, writing my whole life, like really shitty things and,
Okay,
you know, 3-subject notebooks and shit.
like
But,
the white and black spotted ones, like
Those and yeah, and like
the marble notebooks are you
compositions.
talking
I
about?
got into a really bad car accident when I was 21
okay,
or 22. I had an apartment. I was an apprentice butcher. I just got out of this like 3-year relationship, and I was like, it was cool. I was living with all my boys,
yeah,
living, being reckless, you know. And I decided to ride my bike to work. So I was like, I'm gonna start losing weight, you know, ride my bike to work. And this woman blew like a stop sign or a red light and smoked me on my bicycle.
oh my god,
Broke my legs, cracked my head open, and
Holy
like
shit.
in one singular moment, I lost my job. You know what I mean? I lost my apartment as a basement apartment, so I had to move back with my grandma, and so I had nothing to do. So all I did was just like post poems, you know,
Yeah.
on the internet, and that kind of me doing that.
I'm listening. I'm just laughing at
No,
Chris.
you're good.
Did you read a lot of poetry before you started writing, or did you
Well-
just like get into it just because it helped you like express yourself and kind of?
Well, you know, that's how it always starts, I think.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
like the poetry they teach us in school is like dumb.
Yeah.
It's like super old white dudes saying shit that it's not relatable.
It's
Right.
not.
I
yeah.
That's why everything's poetry's a joke.
That's all Chris knows is poetry, I think, because he,
I just learned what a haiku was today.
I think that's how it always starts, you know, when you find something in art as a kid.
I
you know?
started as a child like writing music, and I would be like the lyric writer, lyricist, whatever.
I was the same way.
Yeah.
That's what I did before the poetry.
And it was super Dr. Seussy in the beginning, and then I started playing like different rhythms
Okay.
of words, like when it ends like this. I forget how to write music now. That's why I'm a sound engineer. But there was like formulas, you know, to writing and how it connects and grabs you. And I think that's kind of where I stopped, because when I stopped playing music, I stopped writing poetry.
Yeah. You know, that's how I started. Before, like, you know, I was writing stories, but I played in a bunch of shitty bands. Shitty punk bands. I made a horrible mistake at 18. I got my band's name tattooed on my arm.
What was it?
It's fucking... I could swear on here, right? That's
Yeah.
Yes. No Faith.
Okay.
Right? I was 18. I thought we were playing freehold VFWs.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Jersey shows, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, so I
Killing it,
was
right?
in Jersey shows as well.
Yeah.
We were subject to setback. We were
Criminal.
like a punk band.
That's a criminal organization.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they would make you sell tickets, right? If you remember, they'd be like, you got to sell 10 to
Yep.
play. If you sell
Pay to play.
over 10, you know, we'll pay you for each ticket sold.
Per ticket, yeah.
So we had a scam. We had it set up. We were like, yo, if you buy my ticket, we'll drink you up and smoke you up after the show.
Oh.
Right? So people who didn't even want to go to the show, didn't even care, they were like, all right, we'll listen to this shitty music for an hour, but then we get, you know, these big parties afterwards. I have like 70 people at the Freehold VFW. Nobody else would bring anybody out but my band, and we were just trying to do our thing. We're 16. They'd be like, cool, you brought 20 people. And they'd pay us for 20 people. And I'm like, 1, 2, 3, count. And they're like, yeah, 20. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
But yeah. But my band broke up, and you know, I was a senior in high school, and I was heartbroken. And then, like, it's hard to get 4 guys together, right? And do
Hard
things.
to get 2 guys together.
Yeah.
From experience.
But this one's got a girlfriend. This one's doing this. This one's doing that, right? So, like, being a poet, it kind of like, it's just me, right?
Yeah.
Like, I disappoint myself regularly, but like, that's it, right? Nobody else is gonna let me down, or we can't set something up. It's like, if I don't make something happen, it's my fault. So it's much more like linear. I want to get back into music one day, and I dabble with it because I play with a lot of bands, but it's like, it's hard, man. It's a whole thing.
Why not just try like the studio route and send each other files and compose like digital recordings and release them?
That's super smart, but I'm rocking a Chromebook. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
So-
So you could just go to the people's house to record your lick, or Chromebooks can do probably like MIDI. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah,
so you
yeah,
could
yeah.
you could do MIDI.
It's definitely not a bad idea. It's
That's so
definitely not.
postal service of you. That's
just
how
saying.
he did that.
What do you mean?
Ben Gibbard, when he did postal service,
Oh,
he
yeah,
was
yeah.
like sending his part of the music to the other person in his band, and then they would mail it back, and they would
That-
compose their
TikTok's
music
really
that
big with
way.
that,
That's
too.
why they're called the postal service. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's musicians on TikTok, and I'm sure you could do this with like poetry as well, but it all kind of relates with art. Like they'll do like a stitch or a duet, and it turns into like this mass, like one person singing, one person's playing guitar, one person's playing the
Yeah,
drums, and it looks pretty cool, you know?
That's definitely really awesome. You know, like, I haven't really dabbled in that route. The biggest thing I've struggled with is like making poetry like accessible, right? And like the internet's a way to do it, but unfortunately, the poetry that is booming on the internet is the poetry I detest. You know,
Yeah.
like, listen, I'm happy anyone's engaging in the art form. It's cool, but they're out there just like this like super like popular slam poetry, which everybody calls me a slam poet. Makes me want to hang myself.
I don't know the difference. I feel like you're
Okay.
gonna have to give us
I will.
vocabulary lessons.
So a slam,
ready for school?
So slam poetry is like what popularized poetry in the last like 20 years.
What
right?
is? What do you mean by that?
So like there was all those videos
Just
like
roasting people.
no, they get up there and they do a poem and it's a contest, right? But they all sounded the same after a while. And
I
it's
feel
just
like
like
it's like a rap battle almost.
it's like a trauma.
The way
it's
it
like
sounds,
trauma.
and
Like,
like they pull
listening.
somebody out of the
Yeah.
audience and rip on them.
Now that,
or,
that would be
No.
cool.
No,
That-
it's not like
I would
that.
want to go to them if that was the case.
Yeah, me too.
Instead, it's like, I got a poem, right? And I'm going to do it in front of these judges, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm on a team and we're competing. It's like a competition
Oh,
thing.
yeah. I don't
the
like
problem
that.
with that is that as this thing has grown and now there are slam poets who have won like mad money. So
Mm-hmm.
now there's a formula. And if you wrote the best poem that's ever been written, performed it the best way ever, but someone did a poem about like something really sad and fucked up that happened to them, the judges would be like, how can I give that one a worse score?
Yeah.
So the whole thing just got hokey. So I grew up in the shadow of that. And like my thing is like I always thought that poetry, it's for the beggar and the king, right? It's for everybody in between. Like, so bring it to the bar, right? Bring it to these environments and make it like what it used to be. Like this working class raw shit, because like I'm not doing poems about being sad and crying or all this stuff. Like I'm doing poems about getting high at work and like coming off, like wearing my work boots. Like,
Do you know the poems in your head?
what, my poems?
Yeah.
He's asking if you can say some.
Yeah, I'll read a poem right now.
Yeah, I want to hear a poem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a poem for you. I will do a poem for a poem.
Poem for a poem.
It's
with it.
not my poem.
Okay.
I'm
I'll
not
explain
in
it
on
all
this.
after I say
I
it.
tap out.
I'll give all the credits where credits due.
Who wants to go first, you or me?
You.
Me? All right. So I'm going to read this poem since I just brought up that. This is, I used to be an apprentice butcher, and I quit my job to do this full time.
Yeah.
Not the best decision. If your life's got no direction, don't follow me. You know what I mean? But, that culture's really intense. You know what I mean? It's like a relic of a bygone era. But this is called We're Cooking and We're Not Even Chefs. Enough of this, and you cure the longing. Enough of this, and you could find yourself. Building mountains out of piles of dust. Building meaning from the endless despair. But with this, we are not broken. We are constellations of trauma and loss. We are cogs in a sinister corporate machine. We're doing just fine until the drugs are gone. But even swan songs have gentle melodies. So we laugh and hum and stumble over the words like it's not the only damn song we know. We live by the golden rules of the ones who came before us. What goes on in this room, it stays in this room. And you're not a junkie if you're wearing your work boots. And that the counter in the closet, it's not for eating, but for following lines to their own conclusions, just like we're doing, following each balloon to heaven. In the blood on the floor, our reflections paint scarlet vignettes of better men who greet each morning clean and innocent, praying to their 12-step totems. But that life was never meant for men like us. We were born to drink our pain from the work nights, to climb out of the gutter where we were born, to make the whole damn neighborhood proud, to greet each morning with our heads above our hauntings. The real truth is something that can't be spoken. The sins of our fathers are scarred on our souls. We built ourselves up from the ruins of other men's dreams. You could clean up your act, but your eyes will carry the burden. And ours hold the stories that only come out at night, when the party is over and our work boots are off, and the liquor outweighs our reservations. At twilight is when the dogs come out of the men. And we could curse the heavens and tilt our hats to hell. And the silence that befalls us, it says it all.
You got Chris
Whoa.
hard with that.
Whoa.
I liked it because I was following it and I was picturing when you your description was when butcher, right? Going back to that and working, and I caught like you're not an addict if you have your work boots on.
Yeah.
Meaning like I've experienced that in all my jobs. Like if as long as you go to work, like you're doing your part in society.
Exactly,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And you see the same faces every day, which is the greets and the whatever and what stays in the kitchen,
Yeah, the
It's
job's
there.
got to get done.
Yeah. So I get that. I
You
like
know?
that poem a lot.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Mine is way shorter.
Is it a haiku?
It is not a haiku, and it's a test on like pre-pothead Ryan. So I was told in first, second grade to memorize a poem
Okay.
as a project, and for some reason, up until maybe this point, because I'm going to try to pull it out of my ass, it just stuck in my head.
Okay.
Poem is by Shel Silverstein.
Oh,
Okay,
yes.
all right.
Okay. I made myself a snowball, as perfect as can be. I thought I'd keep it as a pet and let it sleep with me. I made it some pajamas and a pillow for its head, but then last night it ran away. But first it wet the bed.
I love it. I used to
snowball
love her
melted, you know?
stuff,
Yeah.
I read so many poems trying to figure it out, and I just like related to this snowball fucking melting and me being traumatized that my fucking Frosty the Snowman is
Friend's
gone.
gone, you know?
It
You
can
know what
be
I mean?
deep if you
Friend's
think
gone.
Damn, I
Pissed about
fucking
it,
still
everything's
got that.
That's great.
That's education at its finest.
You gotta get up at one of my events and hit that on the mic.
I should, and then that's it.
Storm off after
Yeah,
that.
just drop the mic. That's it.
No, I don't. I respect microphones of all shapes and sizes.
I've gone through so much equipment hosting these shows, right? So like, I was hosting poetry events, and before I added the comedy or the music, I was like, it's poets, right? I had the comedians, I had the musicians. I'm like, okay, I expect some wear and tear. Dude, I went through 6 mic stands,
What?
3 microphones,
Wow.
2 XLR cables, and I'm on my second PA.
What are they doing?
Just a lot of craziness, right?
Yeah, I want to know.
So like, what's going on now is like, people are freaking out because poetry as a group, like as a thing, there's never really been an industry in a long time. Like, as in like, you know, you go to comedy shows, they're regular, they're happening everywhere. You go to music shows, hey, it's Friday night, it's Asbury Park, where are we going, right? Poetry's never been like that, right, in like 50, 60 years. So right now in New Jersey, every night of the week, there's 1, 2, or 3 events going on. You know what I mean? They're all packed, they're filling up. So there's a lot of people. When you get a lot of people in a place and there's this new excitement that's going on, drama and chaos. You know what I mean? Like, it's the thing that's going on is beautiful, it's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm super happy. But there's like some points, like you get all these people together. The age of my audience is between like 24 and 35, right? Everyone, like people are banging, right? There's drama occasionally that plays out very publicly. And when you add the audience on top of that, it's a recipe for a fucking disaster.
Do you so it's a ticketed event or is it public?
All free.
All free.
All my events
Yeah,
are totally
which is
free.
amazing.
There are a lot
You know?
of fights at these events.
Not amongst men.
Okay.
Women. Now, I have a question. Do you
Sure.
think some of that might be because people that, I feel like in my experience, people that lean towards poetry, they're a little bit more in tune with their like emotions and stuff. So do you think it's because their emotions get arised from like the situations, like what people are saying, and like they might be a little bit more sensitive to what's going on?
It could be that, and it could also be like,
Periods.
Hey.
you said it, not me. But
Ryan.
no, like, you know,
I didn't
the thing is
say
this:
that.
like, if you add an audience to anything in your life, it's gonna amplify it, right? So personal things that happen. If you date in any scene, I don't care if you're a musician, a poet, comedian, and you're dating in that scene. If that breakup goes bad,
Of course.
it can just play out horribly.
Because you could have poems about you.
Oh, it happens all the
hell
time.
yeah, there's poems
Back
about
and
that.
forth. I make hella memes about that.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, you get up there and your girl, who's an amazing poet, my fiance Rebecca Weber is like super talented. And like, if you know, we've had our issues, and there's nothing worse than when your girl slams you at your show, like murders it. A poem about how you're a piece of shit. And you're hosting the show. So you got to be like, all right, guys,
What
keep
a
it going
badass.
for Rebecca
But then
Weber,
you-
wiping your eye. You know what I mean?
And you come back with like a response poem.
Yeah, I don't mean to laugh at you, but that was funny.
I was gonna say, I mean, I'm sure you have some great sex after that. You're like,
Yeah.
damn, girl.
Well, listen, it's like, you know, it's like you got to
Or-
respect the art.
He's in
Yeah.
a doghouse for a few days after that.
I was sleeping with my sisters. But
Oh
nah,
my
it's
God.
you know, we've had some craziness. We had this one person who I'll just use her nickname. Yikes. I don't think she knows we gave her this nickname. She was this person who I was made aware of as like this mentally ill person who comes out to these shows and destroys open mics.
Oh.
In a
It was-
good way?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the way you said it, I wasn't sure.
So supposedly at this one venue, she was singing. She's not a good singer, and she freaked out and began to smash a keyboard. And she like, cut herself. And there was like blood everywhere. And it
What?
shut down this whole open mic in Long Branch. This is like a couple years ago.
What?
And there was a couple other occurrences. So I knew that, but I can't pre-ban somebody,
No.
right?
Sure you
Even the
can.
idea, like,
Sure you can. Sure you
right?
can.
But so
Just get a photo of a bloody keyboard and be like,
Well-
yeah. And if
you're
your
out.
guests are in
You're
danger,
out.
I mean, if she's like smashing things.
well,
I had to call
I
the
had
cops immediately.
I experienced Yikes in person.
Mm-hmm.
The first and only person I've ever banned.
Oh,
okay.
you did? Okay.
She came to my show, Puff Puff Poems. We have the features, it's a banger. Then we have the open mic. She's towards the end of the open mic, and now the crowd's winding down, and There's like maybe 15 of us, and she's up there singing. She's not a very good singer. Her
Does she
voice-
have a select song that she
Yeah,
sings
is
all
there,
the
like,
time?
a
She's singing
specific-
some like crazy opera shit.
Is she hot?
No,
Okay.
no. Okay, and her voice is cracking horribly.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. And the audience is so supportive at my events. They're like, yeah, girl. And they're still
Yeah.
being so supportive.
Yeah.
She grabs the microphone and like yeets my PA. Like the whole PA goes, I had it like up on this thing. It goes flying, it crashes on the floor.
Oh my god.
She starts dragging the PA like by
What
the
the
microphone.
fuck?
Okay, like growling in the mic. So
growling.
I'm sitting here.
So it turned into a death metal show.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting here like
All right.
stoned to shit. Like,
Yeah. We should get Yikes on the show.
I jump.
No fucking way.
Dude,
No
I
fucking
jump up
way.
and I'm
Hulk
like,
smash everything.
you okay? Like, she's like yelling about children in the mic and then spikes my microphone on the ground,
Oh, my
No.
God.
grabs her stuff, and then kicks the front door of the Scarlet Reserve room off. Kicks the glass right out of the panel.
Oh
yeah.
my god.
So, luckily, Johnny Marchetti is a very awesome guy.
Oh, John, he was on here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a very good friend and a very good guy because, like, that happened, and I just looked at him. I was like,
Yeah.
bro, like,
I mean, are cops
Yeah.
called at that point? She's destroying the building.
she just, like, ran off and.
She's liable.
Is she outside right now?
That's who runs my security.
Yeah.
Somebody kicks that door, and we're gonna have some fucking problems. Right,
That's crazy, though.
Where's my? I gotta call the cops now.
But yeah, so things like that happen.
Oh my God.
And like doesn't happen often. But
Yeah.
that's I would have never. I've been to thousands of shows. I've never seen that happen before. in my
Yeah,
life.
Yeah,
yeah.
that
That's just an
poetry.
experience.
And there's nobody to call. Like, who do I reference? You know, like I can't call somebody like, hey, bro, you ever had some crazy chick like destroy your PA and kick the front door of the venue off?
Does Yikes seem normal in the beginning?
No,
Not at all.
not at all.
So I feel like there should be screenings.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know if you can do that. Do you screen?
It's a little bit
people
Gestapo-ish,
before?
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like-
Yeah.
You can't do that.
You know what I'm saying?
I need to see your
Yikes is,
papers.
Here's what
Yikes
I
is
was gonna
banned.
get at.
Yikes and all people alike are see ya.
Banned.
Yeah.
You know what? 2 towns over, I heard there was a real good poetry stuff. Go over there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had that kind of experience when I was teaching paint classes. Well, I still do, but my old one that I used to teach, this
Creepers.
girl showed up and she was definitely like on the spectrum, you know, and she was making everyone else very uncomfortable.
How
Just
so?
like causing scenes and stuff,
Really?
and like
Outbursts?
talking about really weird stuff. And I was just trying
And
to
she
be
was
nice
alone?
and help her. She was alone. Her parents would just drop her off and push her into my room, like to get rid of her for a few
Oh,
hours.
I would have had talks
you know?
with her. I would have
And I
chatted.
did. But then what happened was I like started losing customers because after a while it's like they don't know how to respond to what's going on. So what do you do in that case? You know, it's like you don't want to exclude someone, but also like it's like a balance.
I'd be like, oh, you want to slit your wrists? Okay. How about why don't we just like go do this instead? It's like, hey, you want to go do fentanyl? How about let's maybe why don't we just go grab a beer? Like, you know, you want to go
Substitution.
burn your house down? Why don't we just go burn the woods down instead? How about that?
Wow.
Nope.
Wow.
Done
How
that.
about that?
Yeah.
So am I. I'm crying over here. I feel bad for the autistic girl.
She just wants to paint.
Yeah, she did want to paint, but
She
I
just
think
wants
it
to
was
paint.
also like her parents just wanted a break and they just like
Well,
dropped
that's-
her off so that it was something for her to do. It
bad for the
wasn't so much
autistic
like
That's bad
That's my next poem
parenting,
title,
and
bro.
that's not
Yeah,
even
dude.
parenting,
Write-
but
write that for
caretaking.
me.
yeah.
Because I mean, I'm super supportive of
I
like.
think I'm fucking autistic.
Me too.
Yeah, but here's the
Um,
thing, like it wasn't just girls like that. Like I had girls that had tried to hurt themselves and they came to my class as like a way to
Yeah.
relieve that and like, you know, they had fun. It was a way they could express themselves and they enjoyed coming to that. And then this girl comes in and like is disrupting the whole
Yeah.
atmosphere. That was the problem.
If your friend wants to call on the show and leave us a voicemail, she sure can. We could be a safe haven for her.
Yeah.
She can call. You know the number.
Yeah, we
Right.
could talk. We could talk about things. I can get deep.
Yeah. Leave
Read
us
some
a
Shel
voicemail.
Silverstein
Yeah.
to her.
Yeah.
Right.
Text us.
I'm gonna do a whole Patreon segment of Shel Silverstein.
Oh my
Who-
gosh.
Who
please.
hurt you? Tell me who hurt you. Just text us.
669-241-2420.
That's good, Ryan.
Yeah.
You're great at that. I don't
It
know.
took
the
him a
number.
year and a half.
I don't know
It
it.
took me like 2 years.
Memory's spot on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that and Shel Silverstein. That's the only thing in my brain.
That's
now.
it.
That's it. Yeah, for real.
My voicemail used to be the llama who lost his pajama. It was just me reading that poem
Oh, I
For your voicemail?
for my voicemail when I was like 18. Yeah. It was annoying because you would hear me hear the whole, like I'd speak the whole poem before you could leave a message.
yeah, I wouldn't leave you a message.
Yeah, exactly.
Remember when everybody was trying to get like music on your voicemail thing?
Oh,
Like,
the callback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
everybody thought that was like so dope for like a month.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, who
And then you
gives a
call the
shit?
same person a million times to
Yeah.
hear the same beginning, and you're just like, come on, dude. And it's so staticky and shitty.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Would be cool though. I feel like they need to like a better like up that technology.
I miss
agree. I
Nextel.
agree. Nextel.
Nextel was my shit.
Next.
The commercials were so dope though.
Just chirp anybody.
Oh, you do seem like a chirper, bro.
Dude, I was dude.
Chirper.
Chirping.
I'll chirp whenever.
Yeah.
Walkie
He's a
talkie.
chirper.
It's
He's a
walkie
chirper.
talkie on Apple Watch now. James Bond, you know.
I won't wear a watch. I just don't.
I
wear-
don't either.
I
I don't
don't
like it.
wear anything.
I love a watch. Mine's just dead for the
I
past
kind of
3
want
days.
a pinky ring, but I want like a
No.
stupid,
That's a power move.
But they all right. So
like a stupid one. Nothing like
They make-
like
they make,
fancy, like
um,
just something stupid.
they make these tech rings that do the same thing that the watches do. They could like read your blood pressure, track your sleeping, all that stuff, and it's a ring.
Is it like a big skull?
It could do
Is
whatever
that-
the
Maybe,
fuck you
I'm sure
want.
they have one like
I
that.
want like
Yeah,
a
why
big
not?
fake,
Yeah.
fake.
Like, wants a ringer,
ornament-
finger ring,
What is it called? Chinese jewelry?
What?
You know what I'm talking about.
finger ring.
A finger ring?
It goes over like the knuckle, the middle knuckle.
Only if you wear the other side with me. I'll lock you up like finger cuffs.
No. I don't know about all that.
Yeah, you do.
Getting
Mine loves to
weird.
be double stuffed.
Can't even do that. Oh shit! All over you, bro. I'll drink a ton of milk beforehand.
Ew.
That's a
I don't even know if so. Like I'm like self-diagnosed lactose intolerant.
Me too.
You know, like I don't know. I could sip milk one day and
Fucking
just shit my
bunch of
pants.
betas. Bunch of betas.
Dude, you're not supposed to drink milk after you're an infant, especially out of another animal. That's disgusting.
What? Who says this? Did
Are you a
say
mammal?
this or scientists?
What?
Are you a mammal?
Yes. I have hair.
Is a cow a mammal?
Yes.
What makes it a
Hair,
mammal?
hair, and what? What makes a mammal?
No,
a mammal?
don't help him.
It's got I don't know, a hair. Well, like
So a bee has
is an
hair.
insect.
Is a bee a mammal?
No, because it has other qualities that make it an insect. There's other qualities. I just don't know the other. You stand upright. No,
Is it-
it's not right. Cows don't stand
so-
upright.
So
You don't know this shit either, fucker.
So a camel,
It's a mammal.
what makes it? Because it's got hair.
Yeah.
Not that it secretes milk or anything.
Is there that milk?
That's what it is.
Yeah.
If it secretes milk, it's a mammal.
Yeah, so you're not supposed
Is a
to
fish
drink.
a mammal?
No.
You sure about that?
Yeah, what's a fish?
Fish milk.
Fish is a fish. Is
No,
a fish.
what's a fish?
A
I
fish
don't
is a
know.
fish is a fish.
A fish is a
guys.
fish.
Sweetest fish.
So,
Swedish fish are delicious.
Speaking of milk, so I was living out in Missouri.
I'm down.
So I don't get to tell this story ever, so I want to. This
I'm
guy,
excited.
I was in an arts residency. I did a festival in Kansas City, and they offered me a free house, okay, in the middle of Missouri, to live in for a year, just
Take
to write
that.
poems, right?
I love that.
So I said, "Fuck yeah." It turned out to be like really bad in the long run, a little culty. You know what I mean? But like, it's par
no.
for the course. It's a free house, right?
Yeah.
Come on,
yeah,
man. I'm a
Yeah.
millennial. It's hard out here.
They just
Yeah.
wanted you to drink
So-
the Kool-Aid.
My
Yeah.
neighbor was this like artist, this guy. I'm not gonna say his name but he was super awesome artist guy, like known around the world, art everywhere, and he was because there was artists of all different kinds.
It was
there.
Banksy. We know it. It was
Right.
Banksy. It was
But this
Banksy.
this dude, like I watched him start to go crazy a little bit. Like we would talk and stuff, and then like he started like we would put our order. We got free food. They would get us food, everything, food.
Yeah, this
just to
sounds
write
a
some
little-
just to write
Yeah,
some
just
shit
to
on
hang
paper.
out. Yeah, but
Come on.
he would just start putting like a milk every week on the order list. I'm like, all right, my man drinks a lot of milk.
Yeah. What's
And then
he doing
like it
with
goes
that?
up to
Oh, I hope-
2 gallons of milk.
Oh, I hope this is
Then
something
it's 3.
awesome.
Watch this. I watched
a
this.
day.
This guy would drink a gallon of milk a day.
I thought you were gonna say he bathed in it.
No,
or something.
no.
Or an enema.
He
Oh,
would straight
yes.
take
That's
a
hot.
glass of milk, fill with put maple syrup in it. I watched this dude put on like 80 pounds.
Ew.
Yeah.
It was like 2 months, and then he also started going crazy because
Because of milk.
no, because of meth. But you know what I mean,
Okay.
like
The other white drug.
No.
you know,
because
he
of
would
that.
like talking about spiritualism and like this guy's like a famous artist, dude. So I'm listening, right? And,
Yeah.
and he's telling me he's like,
I wasn't laughing at him doing meth. I was laughing. at
I
the fact
was.
that
I
it
was. Yeah.
that jump.
So, he says to me, he's like, you don't understand, Damian. Like, I'm Jesus.
Oh,
And I'm like, I'm like, I
yeah.
get it. I'm Jesus too. We're all just the universe experiencing itself, man. He
I
goes,
fuck with that.
he looks at me and
Yeah.
goes, nah, I'm Jesus.
Yeah,
Right?
bitch.
Oh.
Yeah.
So as he's telling me this, he's trying to get his laptop hooked to like the Wi-Fi, and it's wonky. He's like, yeah. He's like, dude, I'm the incarnation of Christ. Like, I'm here to atone for everybody's sins, this and that.
What's the Wi-Fi password?
Right? And it won't connect. So as he's telling me that he's Christ conscious, all this shit, his laptop just like dies out. He just starts violently smashing his laptop on the floor.
Oh,
And he's telling
nice.
me, I seen a lot of shit out there. but
Wow.
I
So
fell
I've
in
been
love
right
with
all the
it.
time. What would
Right?
Jesus do? I fucking.
Missouri was a different world.
Yeah.
I lived in the middle of nowhere. Like, there was nothing to do but
Like
besides
small town USA.
super
you're
small
talking.
town. Like, I'm talking
Yeah.
about like 800 people over the course of like 10 miles. Right?
Wow,
Like,
okay.
See, that's too. It's too.
but I had a really
Yeah.
good time. I was a terrible arts resident. I'll be honest with you.
Mhm.
But I ran that town. I was shooting shotguns, fighting hillbillies,
Hell
riding the back of
yeah.
pickup trucks. Like,
Wild Wild
See,
West.
that sounds fun.
That sounds like a good year.
we would
That's
Why
party.
was it? Why was it culty? What made it culty?
Yeah.
Well, so what happened was this is like, it was kind of like really cool in the beginning. And the guy was like giving us drugs and like stuff like that and alcohol. Like, just
Yeah,
dropping
right
off people,
there.
Were they
right?
crushing
Right there.
pills into it? Or
No, no.
No, but
I
right
wish.
there. Here's a free house with free
What?
drugs
Yeah,
and
this
free
sounds
food.
a little odd.
You're in.
You're cool. I don't want nothing in return. You're cool.
Yeah.
I don't want your soul or
Yeah.
Yeah.
any
But
of
it
that.
just like there was always elements that were a little wonky. You know what I'm saying? But like I could deal with a little bit of woo woo.
Yeah.
You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? But as I would stay up late with this guy who was running the organization, me and him would be the last ones up, right? And just pounding booze and whatever. He would just be straight up with me
Mhm.
and like drop the facade. Because normally you talk to me and be like, hey, brothers, we're here. and then mission thing. And then it'd be like
Oh,
3 a.m. in the
my
morning. He's like, this is what we're fucking doing.
Nice.
It's like, we're taking over this town. Right? Awesome, crazy. So he wanted me to run for public office
What?
and all this shit.
you
And
guys,
they-
Sons of Anarchy.
dude, he owned like
Yeah.
120 houses over the course of this area.
Wow.
And like, dude, I'm doing a graphic novel about it with my friend. It's called Freak Farm because I had like too many crazy experiences. Like, he got called out by like all these women. Like, came out with like, oh my god, and like, then he's like, his husband came back and he's like, no more drugs and alcohol. Right? So we're all raging, addicted to everything at this point because like we're all 25 years old,
Yeah, you were just
living in God's country. like,
mainline drugs.
I
and
just
alcohol.
thought nothing mattered. I'm 1,500 miles away from home in bumfuck Missouri.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At what point did you think, dude, this guy's gonna come at me with a dick? Like, when is the dick coming? Like this.
There was-
this
I'll
is,
tell you the truth.
This is a little weird. Where are the
so
cameras?
I was there one time before for 2 months alone. So I came back to New Jersey, spent 7 months working my ass off and convincing my girl that this is a good idea for us. We could leave her mom's house and go.
Oh, she went with you?
Yeah, the second time. So I get out there, and the first night, I introduce her to everybody. We're hanging out. And the first time I was there for 2 months, it was a beautiful experience. The second time, the first night, we're smoking. And the guy's showing us around. And he points to this house, and he goes, I go, what's that over there? He's like, it's the River House. I'm like, yeah. He goes, you know what I heard? I go, what? He goes, I heard that group sex is great at the River House. And I go, where? He goes, you guys want to go to the River House? Real smooth. An hour
Yeah.
into being there, like, and I was such an idiot. I was young. I was 25. I was like,
Let's
that
go
guy's
to the
smooth.
River
I
House.
thought he was
Yeah.
smooth. I thought I was like,
Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
listen, I'll check
Yeah.
anything out once. Let's go.
Yeah.
I mean, listen.
But I was wilding out there. Like, we would have such big bangers at my house. I'd be partying with all these Missouri kids,
Mm-hmm.
and like my windows would break from whatever, you know, somebody's fighting, being crazy at the party. I just throw an American flag over it
Oh god.
because it was Missouri.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, hell yeah, America. Nobody ever questioned. There's like, they're like, look how patriotic this Jersey guy is. All these American flags.
Tour guides come through, and over here is the white trash house. White trash farms.
I had a pet chicken.
They're America all the
You know,
way.
Aw, pet chicken.
I got my fiance
I love
a
pet
chicken.
chickens.
Cute.
I don't know why I did it.
They're so sweet.
Yeah, but like they shouldn't be inside.
Yeah, you get
Yeah.
chicken diapers.
You got it.
No, that chicken shit everywhere, dude.
alright.
But
Yeah.
we named her Orla, Golden Child, and she would like follow me around, like so it'd be like these like debaucherous scenes in my house, right? Like people are fucking doing drugs, and then there's like this
And then
really
there's a
sweet little
chicken.
chicken just hanging around.
You put a GoPro on the chicken's head.
It was an experience though. It really like changed the way I looked at a lot of different things because like
I
they
bet.
all hated us when I got there.
Mhm.
Because
Why?
the artists who were there, you know, a lot of artists are mostly left-leaning folks from,
Okay.
you know, metropolitan areas.
Mm-hmm.
And they would come out. The residency had been there for like 10 years, and like they would stay off on their own devices, right? Me, I got there, and they were like, "Oh, look at this Yankee, this and that." But very rapidly, I just became friends with like everyone in the town. I was running an open mic at the smoking pool hall. You could smoke in there.
I remember those days.
Pictures of Bud Light were $5.
Okay.
And they literally had plyboard over like two of the windows because people have gotten thrown through the window. It's the best place on earth. And like I was hanging out there, I became friends with everybody, and I got away with like mad shit because like I just acted like there were no laws. There's 3 cops. You know what I mean? And like I got busted. They'd stop me. They'd search me. And be like, "What's this?" In New Jersey, they would have beat me with a baton and arrested me. Missouri's like, "I'm gonna throw this away. You better get home, or I'm gonna call your old lady."
Yeah.
You know, like, right? Like it's
So
like that.
weird, man.
Different worlds,
worlds.
for
Yeah.
sure.
And also, the first night, my buddy's like, "Hey, I'm gonna fill up a car with thermite. You want to shoot it with my machine gun?"
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yep.
Dude, you could you could go to the gas station. There was Thomas's Quick Stop. It was a drive-through liquor store. Okay?
Yes, love that.
You can get gas and then drive around to the drive-through. You can get a bottle of liquor. You can get a Glock, like 300 rounds of ammunition, worms, and a blunt wrap in the drive-through.
Yeah, see, I don't
Road
like that.
trip.
I don't like that. I
No,
don't like
a
that.
different world.
I don't
Yeah,
like
for
that.
real.
You go to
Yeah.
Walmart.
They have like carry and conceal and all that
Yes.
shit.
Well, yeah,
see,
I've
I'd
been to
never want to live in a
Walmarts.
state where people can like openly carry. I mean, listen, I know everyone's got a gun. More people than you know have a gun.
It's not true.
That's okay, but like, yeah,
I
nope.
feel like
Nope.
like New Jersey is open carry, right?
Nope.
Or no, it's concealed.
Not concealed either, I don't think.
You have to. You can, but you have to be like. You have
It's
to have
hard.
been. You have to have been a cop like for most of your life.
Gotcha.
Shit like that.
But like that whole thing is like, oh, if you grow up around guns,
Mm-hmm.
you're more responsible with them. Maybe that is true in certain areas, but where I was living, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
I saw
Yeah.
drunk hillbillies pull their guns out and try to shoot each other. It was like, you know,
Yeah,
it was like Star Wars. Nobody was hitting anybody, but like they
yeah. They were
tried.
shooting. Yeah.
I seen a dude
Dance.
trade a sniper rifle for a deck of Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Come on.
What?
He was
Why?
like,
That's a
how
win.
about this? He's like, I'll give you this deck right here. Like nobody, it's different, you know, different environment. But I had a lot of fun, man. I made a lot of. I still go out there.
I mean,
know,
it's
Yeah.
an experience for sure.
It's an experience, and like it's just like if you go missing out there,
Yeah.
if you piss off somebody,
That's off the grid.
there's so many, like it's such deep woods and things are so far apart that
Oh yeah.
you're gone. You call the cops. It's gonna
They're
take an
all in
hour,
on it.
Yeah.
You know, and they're definitely gonna be all in on it.
I like, not that it's anywhere near the same, but I had my hillbilly upbringing in a way. I like grew up in New Egypt and like was on farms and dude, like knives to my stomach at like 8 years old, you know, like hunting knives.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was wild. So our big thing was to go to the junkyard and just like try to find something cool, like old thrown out super soakers or like wheelchairs that were all rusted up. And we would make like wheel champ ramps and parks. So we would ride over like these rusted out buses on a wheelchair
Yeah,
down a
that's
ramp
safe.
and like shit like that.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
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 But
So
people think differently. You know, I remember the one time we get a knock on the door, and it's like midnight, 12:30, and I just stayed home with my girl that night, and it's all my friends, and they got a tarp in their hands. They're like, Damian, we need your help. And I'm like, what's going on? He goes, you used to cut meat, right? You're a butcher? I'm like, yeah. He goes,
Oh, God.
they hit a cow by accident. A cow broke out of some pasture,
Aw.
and they hit this cow. So
They didn't wanna
took the
waste
cow
it.
and threw it in the back of my friend's van and brought it to my house at midnight.
They said butcher.
So I could butcher it on my floor.
Well,
Yo, my fiance, like, listen, my girl hit me with a veto. She was like, veto.
I mean,
Right.
I think I'd probably veto that too, but I understand where their brain was at. They're like, well, we killed it, so we might as well use it.
Now, what is
And-
usable out of that, depending on the hit? Like, if
Depends
the
on the
stomach
hit.
contents explode, then you're fucked,
And
right?
it also depends, like, when it died. You can't
Well,
just,
well, they
like,
just hit it.
Yeah, they just hit it.
So it's
I
fresh.
am now
Aw, poor Chris.
a vegan.
You're full of shit.
It's, I want to live out there, like, have a house. Because, like, one, they don't have an extradition law in Missouri.
Okay.
So if you didn't do anything that's not a capital crime, right, they can't extradite you.
Are
Okay.
you hiding from something?
I might in the future. I'm not sure what's coming,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, you always got to think ahead.
He's gonna trade a deck of Yu-Gi-Oh cards for a sniper rifle.
Did you just acquire a sniper rifle?
Yeah, I had to give my Yu-Gi-Oh card.
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
Yeah.
But also, it's so cheap out there. I mean, it's crazy.
Oh,
right?
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Kids
It's
work at
Missouri.
McDonald's, right? Or wherever they work.
Mhm.
And at 18, no one lives at home anymore.
I love
Yeah, I know.
'cause
My-
they
yeah.
can buy a
$250
house.
a month rent for an apartment.
Oh, my God.
Do you know what I mean?
I
Like,
need to live there,
a
too.
house, $18,000, $20,000.
Fuck, man.
You know,
I
there's
know. What are
nothing
we doing?
there. And like going to the Walmart is like the big occasion 2 towns over.
I
Yeah.
love Walmart. I,
I do,
love McDonald's.
too. I love doing
We
that.
could just post up and have like a Missouri podcast
Oh, my God. Let's all
and just
move to
live off of
Missouri.
a
Let's
cult
go.
farm.
Let's start a
Yeah.
cult out
You
in
have to-
Missouri.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
start a cult.
Count me out of the cult thing.
Yeah.
I don't want no parts of that. Not for me.
Kidding.
But
We'll call it an arts program.
sure.
Just get
Yeah,
thrilled
an
in.
arts program. You know, when I was out in Idaho, they had you could sign up to do a residency in the house where Hemingway killed himself. He shot himself in his house out in Sun Valley, and now they use it for like writers and artists retreats. And
That's
there
a
is a
really-
wait list to
For
get
retreats?
Who
there.
books these retreats?
But I
The
was just
artists?
thinking, like, I think his family still owns it because, like, his daughter lives out there too. So I've been to his house in Key West, and then I saw like his grave and the house like that he killed himself in. But I'm thinking, like, why would you want to do the retreat where he killed himself and not like where he had a good time?
Because
You know,
Because
like-
you pull off your emotions. So, like, that's a
You
very
think so?
emotional space, and those emotions.
I just
like,
feel like it would
stay
be
in the
bad
home.
energy.
And it's
Yeah.
Like very sad and
Liability
upsetting,
issues.
and
it's like
like
a car crash. You have to look.
I guess.
And like, is there a higher
Interesting.
chance of people killing themselves at that place?
I was
It's
thinking
the
that.
liability
Like, I
issue.
Maybe.
feel like maybe
Maybe
there's
yeah.
something in the walls at that point, you know?
I want to go.
Blood.
I want to.
Something-
I would do a
There's something
night.
on the
I don't
walls.
think I wouldn't do like a whole
See, I'm convinced. I'm
Residency.
half convinced. Now that I saw my first ghost, I told you, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yes.
I want to go to some place that's like known to be haunted as fuck, and I want to bring a camera, and I want
There's
to
a
spend
few
an
around
evening
here.
there solo.
Solo. You say that now.
I want to.
What about the gates? Of
Yeah, what
hell?
happens if it fucking comes at you?
Yeah.
I'll have the
I mean, you're
camera.
solo anyway. If that happens, I'm running, dude.
You're such a bitch. You are such a bitch. You would just let
How
me.
am I gonna fight a ghost?
Whatever. You stay with me at least.
Yeah.
All right, I'll carry
I
a,
would-
a camel sack of holy water.
No, fuck that. That's not. No, no, that's not how it
sack
works.
of
That's not
holy
how it works.
water.
That's not how it works. That's not how it works.
All right,
We
a bag
just-
of joints. We get the
Yeah,
ghost high.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
We just need, dude.
That's the move.
Dude,
think
if
so.
you have good vibes, you're gonna have a good ghost
That's not how it works.
It's in the Bible.
for sure. I don't know about that either.
I mean,
But I'm just saying, like, yeah.
Yeah.
I want to find if you guys know the most haunted spot around.
There are quite a few around here.
As long as I had snacks and weed.
Snacks and weed.
need snacks and
you
weed.
are Scooby Doo.
I need snacks and weed, and I will take on a scary haunted spot challenge.
Okay.
I feel like that was a big thing when I was growing up. Everybody went to like scary shit.
Oh hell yeah! I used
Weird
to
New
always go
Jersey.
to
yeah,
the.
and it was always just older kids scaring each other.
It was
Yeah.
like the mental institution and
Like
Lego
Lego, right?
Road and all that stuff.
But that's the
yeah.
thing too. Like you got to make sure like nobody is in there fucking with you. If I go to some place to
Well.
do an hour, a certain amount of hours, I want it to be known that there is nobody in there, just
Well,
some cameras set up.
I
That's
mean,
it.
you can't. If you're going to like some abandoned
You guys
place
could be
or
out.
something,
You guys could
like,
be outside in a tent.
in a
Or-
tent.
Look
That's,
out.
we're gonna die,
No,
not you.
in like in
a
Ryan's-
van, in a van.
Ryan's
Yeah,
rape
a van
In
down
Ryan's
by the
rape-
river.
yeah,
Have you watched any horror movie ever? We're gonna be the first ones to go if you do that to us.
Yeah, exactly. You're my first line of defense.
What the hell?
Duh.
Fucked up.
Yeah. Holy crap. Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna pencil that. And
So what do you have coming up?
yeah,
Damian?
tell us what you got coming up. Where they can find you. Where they
so
can stalk you.
You
all
find
that.
me on Instagram and Facebook, Damian Rucci. I'm on Twitter too, but I barely use that shit. I can't juggle more than
Same.
2 platforms. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I have a show this Friday at the Mill Hill Saloon in the basement. I'm performing with Dreams of When, Matthew Pelly, a bunch of bands, and some poets. Saturday I'll be in Mattawan at Brew for Poetry in the Port.
Nice. That's right by me.
And then just check my Instagram because like I'm hosting some. I'm just always throwing up events. You know what I mean?
Fuck
But
yeah, man.
Friday's gonna be the really cool one because I like doing the music and poetry thing.
Mm-hmm.
So and Mill Hill Basement's dope as shit. I don't know if you guys have been there, but
I have
I
It's
don't.
dope.
I don't
Where is
go
that?
out. I don't.
it's in Trenton. It's
Okay.
it's like this like punk venue. So if you go upstairs, it's like a bar.
Uh huh.
People are like drinking Chardonnay and shit.
Oh.
And downstairs is this crazy punk venue.
That's cool.
With, like graffiti all over the walls and like its own bar down there and like
That's cool.
it's a really cool spot.
Mm.
Yeah. So I'm excited for it.
Nice, nice. And your Instagram is like one of my most favorite to follow because you post the most ridiculous memes.
Thank you.
Yeah,
People get so mad.
and they're
Yeah.
so funny.
I'm just gonna make a yikes meme.
I made like 6. I'm like, listen, I'm getting content out of this. I don't care.
Yeah.
All right, I'm checking out the yikes memes.
Oh man, send
Yeah.
me a photo of her and I'll just make something fucked up. I won't tag you in it. Nobody knows who the fuck I am.
Hit piece.
I'll just be like, yo, do not be yikes.
Yikes.
There can only be one. Yikes.
Yeah.
There can only be one.
Don't be this human.
Yeah. If you want to follow us separately on our own personal social medias, I am rwilly123.
And Maria came from Nashville.
That little guy, Chris, 28.
And you can follow us at the Two Clouded Mind Show on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and TikTok. Did I say TikTok twice?
Fecal
I
matter.
don't know. It's okay though.
Human fecal matter.
Thank you so much for coming on and
Thank you
joining
for
us
having me.
today.
It's been a really good time.
Totally.
Totally.
Connect with the Two Clouded Mind Show. Follow them on Instagram and TikTok at __clouded_minds_show, at _2 clouded on Twitter, and the Two Clouded Mind Show on Facebook. Get the Two Clouded Mind Show podcast wherever you get your podcasts, and of course, subscribe to their YouTube channel and hit that notification bell.